first tip is to help you when you're taking your photo. And so, like I said, that's a really important aspect of this. Tip number one, get out of the way, is to choose a pair of shoes or objects that are meaningful for you. So for example, I'm wearing some pretty basic shoes right now, kind of like you see over here on your right. They don't really mean that much to me. They're functional. That's fine. I could use those, but instead I tried to really think about shoes that would mean a little bit more. And so I've narrowed it down for mine. Two pairs of shoes that are really meaningful are my daughter's shoes. She's obsessed, and she's had multiple pairs of these, in my opinion, not super cute, pink princess boots that she will wear literally with everything, with her pajamas if you let her. And so those would be a good option because they mean something to me because they remind me of my daughter. Or I bought my first pair of running shoes, like real running shoes, this time last year, and then I ran a half marathon for the first time in this past year. And so that was a really big deal for me. That was really exciting. So I think those running shoes would be a really good option as well. Tip number two, when you're taking your photo, make sure you're filling up the space in the frame, okay? So get close to it, crop it if you need to, but your image should touch at least 3 of the edges of the frame. As you can see here in the thumbs up one, it's touching all 4. So it's super zoomed in, you get lots of details. The one on the right, not great for a lot of reasons, but also there's space completely around this one shoe. We don't want that, that's not interesting. Another tip is to look for shadows. Shadows will help make your image look like it's not floating, okay? As you can see on the right, there's no shadow on this shoe, and so it's just kind of in space. Whereas on the left, you've got some obvious shadows that you can draw, which help ground your image, make it look more realistic. Also, if you need to create a shadow, turn off the lights, put a flashlight or a lamp or something in the direction and play with that so you can get a really good shadow if you don't already have one. Avoid basic symmetry. So don't just put everything right in the middle. We want it to be more asymmetrical. We want the shoes to kind of balance. You don't just want like 2 shoes next to each other. Instead, you can have them sitting on top of each other, kind of sideways. And so playing with that, as you can see here, we don't want just the plain one. We want something a little more interesting. It can still be balanced when it's asymmetrical, okay? And then think outside the box. So you're choosing shoes that are meaningful already, but if they can be unusual, then that's even better. And the way that you take the image of it can be unusual. So even just doing the bottom of these cleats is really unusual. Adding little objects or things in. So this brick can make this image more interesting. This butterfly, even if it wasn't there, you can add it in if you look at a real reference photo. Using ballet shoes that are still on your feet, or adding in an iPod or something, which is maybe a little outdated, but you get the idea. Make it a little more interesting. Okay, so once you get your image, then you're ready to start drawing. For this, begin with just a light contour drawing. Start with your basic shapes like we practiced last week. Build up, and then also use that grid feature that you'll see in that video. Once your contours are drawn, then you begin value, and so start using your range. A lot of times we like to work light to dark, but there are some occasions where if it's more comfortable to work dark to light, you can still do that. Make sure you're making that variation. You're doing really, really light all the way to dark and lots of medium tones. And looking for that when I grade it, that's part of your skill assessment score. By the end of it, we want to try and have no outlines. Okay, so as you can see from this right photo, it's basically all outlines. But from the left photo, it might have started with contour lines, but because of all the value and things happening, there's not just an obvious outline anywhere. Instead, the edges are defined by shadows and by highlights, and that's what we want to make it look realistic. And of course, keep adding details. You have 2 weeks, so use them. Don't finish this in a day and then say it's done. Go back, add highlights, add shadows, add tiny little texture on the shoelaces like you see here. All of that stuff is going to help improve your drawing and improve you as an artist. And you're doing this all on your paper, just plain drawing paper that's in your art supply kit. And so it's not that big. We actually usually do it a lot bigger. So that means you can hopefully spend more time on those details since you're not trying to fill this big page. And finally, when you're all done, clean it up. Use an eraser. Clean up any smudges, any grid lines that might still be there, messy edges. Make sure that you're presenting your best work. Take a really clear picture of it, and then you will submit it to our self-reflection, which will be at the end of next week. So that's not available yet because you won't be ready for it until next week. Don't forget, you've got this. I know some of you guys are new to drawing, new to art, so you might be really nervous, but it takes time, it takes practice. Keep going, and if you need anything, email me questions. Also, email me a picture of your work in progress, and you can ask me questions about it or ask for just general suggestions. I'm happy to help. Happy drawing!